going to be a fun weekend. I figured I'd document it. Haven't done a show vlog in a while. So yeah, some highlights coming up. All right, guys, welcome to San Antonio. I got the girl gang with me.
Girl gang. Paul's girl gang.
Remember, you weren't at North Americans. At North Americans, they tried to say Paul's Dolls.
Oh, I remember this.
No.
That's it, yeah.
So we are here. We're gonna walk downtown San Antonio just to go see like the Alamo and stuff. Today is the seminar with Sandy. Tyler is here too. I don't know if he's doing the seminar, but we got an NPC show and an IFBB pro show. So Miss Natalie is our only pro here that's competing. Deraja is also here, but she's not competing. And we got Vanessa and Maria. There's everybody. Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun weekend. I figured I'd document it. Haven't done a show vlog in a while. So yeah, some highlights coming up. It's so pretty. This is good vlogging material. This is what Fitzbos do. Fitzbos in the wild. Do you know your American history, Natalie? What happened here? Puerto Ricans. All right, guys, so San Antonio got here successfully. You saw me walking around with the girls a little bit, just like to get out and do a little sightseeing. We're right in like the downtown San Antonio area, right by like the Riverwalk, and so yeah, it was nice to go do that. Now we're going to a seminar. The nice thing about the Spectrum Fitness Production shows, so Sandy Williamson, who is the head chairperson for the women's divisions for the IFBB, she's the head judge for the Olympia, every major national show, all of them. She puts on a little seminar. So we're gonna go to that now. They answer questions, they'll go over posing, they'll just do some talking points, so I might get some footage of that. But yeah, we're gonna do that, and then the girls are gonna get their tanning. We're gonna do some final check-ins. I think we're gonna actually go get some food tonight, so I'll get some footage of all that, bring you guys along for the vlog to see like what it's like to be at a weekend where we got some competitors competing, amateurs, pros, travel, all good stuff. Let's go.
And then now let's... K18, Natalie Matthews. That's easy to say, huh?
Got that one right.
And 19, Slam.
All right, so this is Natalie Matthews, literally a few hours before stage here in San Antonio, and we're just doing our final check-in. Really good. So we had her eat 350 grams of carbs yesterday because we are always trying to fill those glutes out. They're definitely filled out. Boom. This is definitely better than Tahoe. And we changed her front pose. So this is going to be her front pose now. Nailed it. Okay. Yeah, I'm thrilled.
Yeah?
And the new hair.
Yeah,
This is actually her natural hair with a little bit of extensions in versus ironing and straightening it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excited.
All right, guys, so here we are shortly after I visited with Natalie. Now, the pros for this show would go on stage at 11 a.m. They had to be backstage at 11 a.m. However, now that they're running these shows in different formats, they didn't want the NPC competitors backstage until about 2 o'clock. So when I have girls that are not going to get on stage until late in the day, I typically will have them go do a little light workout in the morning. The reason being is we've been increasing food all week, and it's just a great way to keep the food moving into the muscle bellies. Now, we are doing very light weights, very low amount of volume, very low sets. The goal here is just to get some blood into the muscles. And who you see here, this is Maria Nemethy. This is our first show together, though we've been working together for a little while. We did a test of our peaking process a few weeks before to really make sure that we brought her best. And what's been fun with her is how lean she is. We actually had 320 carbs and 90 grams of fat the day before this video. That's how lean she is. And Deraja Hill traveled to this show with me. Deraja is getting ready for the Miss Bikini Olympia, so it's great to have her on some of these trips. She's also a coach for Pro Physique, so she gets to see the experience. She got to meet up with some of her clients, but most importantly for me, she's actually watching a pro show, getting her mind right, and she's helping me pose my clients. She is an expert resource, and this was another NPC competitor. This is Sophie. She is a super talented NPC competitor. This was only her second show with me. We did one earlier in the year, if you watch my competitor vlog from Oklahoma, and I felt I wanted to see her get judged by the two most important judges for bikini in the IFBB, and that is Tyler Mannion and Sandy Williamson. So I really brought only a few competitors to this show. I had a lot of competitors at another show in Orlando, which will be the end of this vlog. So at the same time, on the same day, we had competitors competing all over the country. These girls in San Antonio, obviously. We had a bunch of girls competing in Orlando. I had one girl in Idaho, one girl in Canada, and two girls in Oklahoma. So overall, we had a lot going on. This is Sophie. As you can see, again, very lean, filled out very well. The goal today, just get in the gym, get some blood moving. Vanessa wasn't able to make it. I think she had a makeup appointment, so she did her own training. But I just wanted to show you guys the conditioning that goes into bikini. This is NPC Bikini competitors, and all these girls did very well, which you'll see here in a minute. But I just wanted to show you what this kind of body composition looks like in a gym. It's very, very lean, very shredded, probably way too shredded for just normal everyday life. So once that workout was done, we headed back to the venue. The nice thing about everything was very close by. Went back to the venue, and this is Natalie Matthews getting ready to walk out on stage for her IFBB Bikini Pro class. And, we kind of find ways to pump up backstage. This was a 15-pound dumbbell that, we use in as many ways as we can. As a pro, as an amateur, your goal is to walk out on stage looking the best you can. And the way we handle our peak is food is going up, water is going up, sodium is going up. So everything's going into the muscles. When you pump up, your skin really pops. So here comes the pro class. And what they do with the pros is they bring them out first in group comparisons. Now, because of the restrictions, because of the virus, they had the girls spaced out a little bit. Now, apologies on my camera work, because my goal here is not to be the best cameraman. I'm trying to be a coach, and I'm trying to watch and film at the same time. I'm not able to do this very often. I usually get a little too anxious and a little too nervous, and I even forget. And there was many times today I forgot to record. But as you can see, we're looking at the girls in comparisons in groups. They all get to stand side by side. And there's Natalie on the end, shoulders looking great, glutes looking great. And there's Jourdain. You see all the girls lined up. Then, after all the girls come out for group comparisons, it's usually 8 or 9 girls in a group. Then you see the individual presentations. Now, this is something that is only pros get to do. Amateurs do not get to do a full presentation like this. Amateurs at the national shows get to do a walkout, and they get to do basically 1 or 2 poses. But this is a full routine. The girls have up to a minute, really just trying to show off their best attributes. You'll see these routines for the most part are very polished. They really take their time. They're trying to show their confidence. Here you can see Natalie's balance, her shoulders and glutes, tiny waist. Everything about her physique on this day I was thrilled with. I thought she looked fantastic. I've had the great fortune to coach Natalie for a few years now, since she was an amateur to her pro card, and even to her, all her pro shows. So it's been such a pleasure to coach her. Now, we did not get a top call out at this show, which, that's unfortunate. But the thing you have to understand about the pros is that every single girl that is a pro has earned a pro card, and that means they are all fantastic. So when they did finally call her out, they did keep her in the middle, which meant, they responded well to her. And we did get feedback that they just thought she needed to be bigger. And if you look at some of the other girls, they look a lot more muscular than Natalie. She is a small person. She gets on stage around 105, 106 pounds. about 5'2", but she has such great shape and such great structure that, you know, we're just going to keep focusing on coming in a little bit better for each show. And there are strategies that we can employ even at this stage of prep where we can come in looking better. We definitely learned some stuff for this, and her season's not over. So figured I'd just show you. There's Sandy, there's Tyler. They are the 2 head judges for the Olympia, for all the national shows. And so it's really nice to have them here and to see them. And that's why we come to these shows, to get better. And so there you see Natalie. I mean, she just looks stunning. This is the first time she's worn her hair like this. Usually it's straight. She has natural curls, which I encouraged her to use. And the feedback was they all loved her hair. So, you know, at the pro level, it's an honor just to be competing as a pro. But I'll be honest, Natalie was disappointed by this, as was I. You know, we come to these shows to get a top placing, to try to earn points for the Olympia, to get a win and get invited to the Olympia like Deraja has done. So, you know, it's all about coming into the show better and better. And although we lost, we're not going to lose the lesson. So I'm still super proud of the physique that she brought and the way she looks. And so this was just not her day. But that's what this sport bodybuilding is about. You know, it's about getting back to the drawing board and getting better. So now we can check out the NPC competitors. Now, as soon as Natalie was done competing, I went over to the hotel for one final check-in with the girls. So we had 4 amateur girls. This is Maria Nemethy, and as you can see, her 320 grams of carbs, 90 grams of fat the day before the show, no problems. And here is Deraja helping me with any final adjustments for her. Conditioning looks really, really good. If anything, I'd say she's a little bit on the too hard side, so we actually started adding some food in here just to soften her up a little bit. This is Vanessa Robinson, who is another just knockout. She just has crazy everything from top to bottom: structure, beauty, shape, muscularity. So, you know, she's another one we have some really big things planned for, including getting on the national stage this year. So I wanted to show you a little bit about what the backstage was like. Focus.
So focused.
So you're in B.
I'm in B.
You're in C.
I'm in C.
You're in E.
E.
All right.
E-I-E-I-O.
There's no O.
There is no O.
So there you have the girls backstage clowning around just a little bit before they go on stage. This is Maria using the Natalie trick. I was trying to find some good lighting just to show off how good they looked. And I mean, you can kind of tell how freaking shredded she is. And this is Anna De Leon. She was in Class B. So I had 4 girls here. Anna, you didn't get to see much of her. She got to the gym a little bit late, didn't get any footage of her, but another fantastic competitor, great shape. And I will say this about this stage lighting. There was no stage lights. It was just regular overhead lighting. So you're not getting that full crisp look like you would get at some of the national shows where they actually bring in professional canned lighting. So what does this mean? Well, it meant that I didn't want my girls getting a little too dark. So I kept their tans a little on the lighter side. I didn't harp on them on coming in super dark. I also felt it would be better for us to be a little bit on the harder and tighter side on stage because you looked a little bit softer under those lights, which is, you know, that's something you have to pay attention to as a coach. And the advantage was we saw this the night before, so I was able to adjust their peaking just slightly. You know, there's certain things you can do at the end there to kind of impact things. So that was Class B with Vanessa Robinson. This was an interesting class. So this is Sophie's class. Sophie was in Class C. Class C had 18 girls. That's right. Look at all those girls on stage. They were actually calling them out individually. So this was the largest bikini class of the day of the 8. There were 8 total classes. So that is a lot of bikini competitors. You know, they were probably close to, I would say, 100 bikini girls at an NPC show. But when you put the judge in place with Sandy and Tyler, you're going to get a lot of talent coming out, especially when we're 1 week away from NPC Universe, a national show with pro cards on the line, and 2 weeks away from NPC Nationals with a lot more pro cards on the line. So, you know, over the next couple weeks, you're going to be seeing a lot of new IFBB bikini pros. That was Class C. Now here is Class E. This is Maria Nemethy. So you can remember what she looked like in the gym, and now you see how she looks under these lights. Not quite as crazy, right? So it was important that you know, we pay attention to how she was going to look under the lights before she got there. And I apologize if I didn't get a ton of footage. Again, I try to get some pictures and videos at these shows, but I'm just not the best at, you know, dealing with the anxiety as a coach. I get like really nervous. Just, it's a personality thing. But Maria was obviously just on fire. and she won her class. So this is the Class E winner. So Sophie ended up getting second in Class C. Vanessa ended up getting second in Class B. And Anna ended up getting fourth in Class B. Or maybe it was third. I forget. But when you win your class at a competition, you get to be in the overall. And at this show, there were 8 girls in the overall. So this was a stacked show. A lot of these girls are probably going to be pros in the next couple weeks. You're going to see these girls going on stage at Universe, going on stage at Nationals, and turning pro. I mean, every single one of them that walked out, I was like, wow, this is a great lineup. So this is the point where I get super nervous because, you know, Marie and I had talked about coming to this show. Our goal was very clear: win the overall in front of the 2 most important judges at the IFBB Pro Bikini League. You got Tyler and you've got Sandy. So I wasn't sure what they were going to do with the overall, because typically what they'll do is they'll kind of move someone to center that they like. However, Maria actually started in the split center. So they bring the girls out, they pose them around. They didn't really move many people. They kind of just put everybody to the side. They did 1 turn, 1 walk, and they sent everybody to the side. But you see Maria's waist to shoulder ratio. You see how hard she looks, rear delts. You know, her glutes are full, but they're not etched. She just has a great balance. Look at the shoulder to waist to glute ratio. She just has such an appealing physique in person. She just really pops up there on stage. So that was it.
First, and you're going to take it to 138, Maria Nemethy.
So there you have it, the overall bikini champion. She actually got a free paid entry to the national show of her choice. She gets a nice tiara, and then she gets a nice interview with NPC News Online, and that's what we came here for. She got the attention. We got feedback from 2 judges on exactly what to do for nationals. Now let's check out Orlando.
So here we are in Orlando for Joe Pascula's Clash Championships All-South show. And we're backstage hanging out with all the girls, most of the girls. And Luis is back here getting some shots for everybody. Super awesome, thank you, Luis. And we're getting really excited for bikini coming up. So not too much going on. Everybody looks really good. Posing's awesome. And we're just having a blast right now hanging out. So that's it. Paul?
All right, guys, so I thought it'd be really fun. On this day, there was 2 big shows happening. A huge show in Florida, which was the largest show of the year for the NPC in Florida thus far, the All Clash Championship Series. And I just want you to see what's going on here. There's Taylor Ross. She is a future rock star. There's Candace Wright, a current rock star. Just all the Team Pro Physique girls backstage pumping up, helping each other out. And this is the perfect example of how Team Pro Physique works. So this is Coach Stephen Beaugrand, who just had a girl earn an IFBB Pro card in Europe, so congrats to Chloe. But my point being is Coach Stephen's been with me for about 5 years now, and I trust him like I trust myself. So I sent him to Orlando. He didn't have any girls in this show, but I had him go do their check-ins the night before. We were able to FaceTime and really fine-tune posing, suits, you know, and final decisions on nutrition. And here's Candace Wright, who actually came in looking even tighter than she did for her last show. So I'm thrilled with Candace's look here. And my point being is that, you know, although I can't be at every show, we have such an amazing network of coaches. And here comes Taylor Ross, who is also in Candace's, I believe this was the novice class. And this was her first show with me, and Taylor's just somebody I'm really excited about coaching. In just a short amount of time, we've made massive improvements. And so, yeah, what we're going through here is the Clash Championship Series. It's in Orlando, and we're already in finals. So I just asked Stephen, I said, hey, can you get some clips from the show? Because I thought it would be cool to show, like, at the same time, both these shows were happening. You know, we were texting back and forth. I was calling the girls all day. We were really staying close. And this is actually Candace winning the novice class. So she actually won Novice A, which was just an amazing accomplishment. A few weeks ago, she didn't win her novice class. So now she's won, and she can hang her hat on a nice win. Here is Miriam Rabari, another one of my master's clients who crushed it. She looked fantastic. And the goal here is just to show you guys some of what's going on at this show. And this was Dilru. Now, Dilru has been a client of mine for 2 years, and when she checked in, A few days before the show, I noticed she was looking particularly good, and I asked her what had changed, and she said she had gotten a little bit more sleep. So her final approach to stage, which included, a couple hundred carbs the day before the show, was well received because she was actually dropping weight as food was going up during peak week. And when she checked in Friday night, Stephen messaged me and said that she's going to win the overall. And I was like, well, you go to enough of these shows, you start to recognize when girls have that look that it requires. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to win the overall, but it does mean that you're going to be someone that's very hard to beat. And as coaches are experienced, like Stephen and myself, you just start to recognize it. And sure enough, here's Dilru winning her Masters class.
Your 2020 NPC Klash Series All South
for the
overall Masters over 35 Bikini Champion is competitor 165.
So congrats to Dilru, who actually won the over 35 Masters overall. She won her class, and then they did an overall, and she won that. So that's always nice when you can walk away with that. But I was also told that she was probably going to be someone in the mix for the open overall title. So this is the open B class. So that's Taylor. So Taylor actually did not place at her Tampa show about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and that was right before she switched to me as a coach. And then soon after, she got second. And then here's Snowy DeCane, who is from Ohio, but she is a fantastic competitor. Well, tons of muscle, great shape, and so I'm excited about her. I believe she got 4th at this show. Now, what was exciting for me was on the one day I had just won the San Antonio overall. Maria had crushed that. And then at this show, I was waiting for the results because I knew that Dilru was going to be in the overall. So at these shows, typically what I said before was, remember how Maria started out in the middle and they just kept her there? Well, they only moved one competitor in this call out. This is the overall, and guess who it was? It was Dilru. So now, once we see her move to the middle, we can kind of start getting our hopes up. She just has almost freaky structure. Her waist is so tiny, her shoulders are super wide, glutes are big and full, very lean. This was just a fantastic package that Dilru brought to the stage, and it's so good that we're taking it right to nationals. Like, she's not even getting a few days off, and we're headed there. So, this was a very exciting a weekend, as potentially 2 of the larger shows in the country happening on the same day, and Pro Physique took home the 2 bikini overall titles. And this is what I've been working for the last 10 years for, is just getting to a level where I'm competent to coach people at the highest level, from true novices all the way to the Olympia. And so, these are the moments you wait for, is being the one that hears their name last on stage. And Dilru is somebody who, from the second we met, I knew she had this potential. But she, this is very hard. All these competitors work very hard. So it's the difference between somebody, winning a class and winning an overall. It's just small little things. And so it was very exciting for me to find out that Dilru actually won. I would love to put the audio in here of them saying that she won, but ends up happening as the music gets in there, and then it gets copyrighted and the video gets blocked or whatever. So I just take the audio out and I'll talk over it. So as you can imagine, they're saying, all the prizes she's going to win. I think she won a belt, a tiara, a ring, and a couple trophies. So yeah, congrats to Dilru, who gets a big hug here from CJ. CJ's Elite Suits. She is just an amazing lady too. You get to see her at a lot of the bigger shows. And yeah, congrats to Dilru. It was fun to get this news. Definitely had a good night in Texas this night with 2 overall champions. So that's it. That's how it's done. Now we get ready for the national show. I'll try to document some of that if I can manage the anxiety.
So there's this weird thing that I had to stay after the show because Paul's client Dilru apparently did pretty damn good. I don't know. She's just hanging out up there. Bikini overall win, Masters overall win. Oh, look at that. Somebody's showing off.